Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the...
It's movie night with Bill and Lil.
Welcome back. We got a special guest, Dana, for a Christmas episode. Can you believe it? I'm just kidding.
I know.
Well, did you guys see Saw? Because I see Saw too.
I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this joke.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Saw today. Saw 2, for sure. We did Saw 1 and Saw X. We're going to probably do a recap of Saw X eventually. But today we're going to do a recap of Saw 1 in case you didn't see the episode. Or because we have our special guest here that wasn't in the episode that should have been. Shame on us. So,
Yes, I should have. Yes.
so tell us, what did you think about the first Saw movie?
I think it's just iconic. Like, not me, the whole bathroom scene, the storyline. It's just iconic, and it's just you're not going to beat it as like a first film into the franchise. Like, you know what I mean? It's so big, and it's just grown, really. So
It's one of the biggest modern horror franchises, if not the biggest modern horror franchise. I mean, we got 10 installments now. And if it wasn't for the first one, it never would have happened, you know?
Crazy. And it hasn't went to space yet either, so...
I mean, that's true. The other franchises we have that have gotten this big have gone to space at this point.
Like even Hellraiser, that's kind of crazy.
I actually really like that one because it gives us the Princess of Hell, and she's a really cool Cenobite.
Anyways, if you guys saw the Friday the 13th episode, we kind of ranked them early just because we want to see if our rankings will change with this new rewatch. Let's just go around the group. Dana, let's start with you.
okay, so I've got Saw 1, Saw X, Saw 3, Saw 2, Saw 4, Spiral, 5, 6, Final Chapter, Jigsaw.
It's kind of crazy that Saw's at the bottom of your list. Oh, wait, are we doing bottom to top? Or top to bottom? Oh, man, did I mess that up?
That was top to bottom.
Oh,
Saw 1 at the top.
okay.
Trying to throw under the bus.
Everybody's getting their pitchforks ready.
No, now I know how much Dana truly does hate me because how low I have Spiral on the list and how high she has it on the list.
Oh, yeah. No, I would have put Saw 3 at the top.
simplistic. Well, go ahead. What'd you say?
I would have put Saw 3 at the top, probably because it's my favourite, but, Saw 1's iconic, and then this...
Yes.
Well,
Yes. And see, that's me with Scream, though there are other ones in the franchise that I do enjoy. I think probably a little bit more. I keep that one in the number one slot because I hold it to an iconic standpoint. It really started something.
Yeah.
all right,
But yeah.
Lil.
Okay, my list, as of right now, due to change, but as of right now, Saw 10 is 1, Saw 2 is 2, Saw 1 is 3, Saw 3 is 4, Saw 5 is 5, and so on. The numbers stay the same until Spiral, and that's the 10th. Because, yeah. I love you, Dana, but I don't love that movie.
Wait till we go into, the episode of Spiral, yeah? I'm coming for you.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm having a special guest in Lilith's place.
See, I have fun with all these movies. Like even like the bottom of the list, Saw 3D, is like I love the kills in it. I love the opening in it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of spotty things with it. So here's my list from best to worst. Number 1 is Saw 2. Then it's Saw X, Saw 5, Saw 3, Jigsaw, Saw 4, Spiral, Saw 6, Saw 3D.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, I will say, I'm one of those weirdos that enjoys Jigsaw a lot. Like, I really enjoy Jigsaw. I have the Steelbook. A lot of people don't like that one.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're both middle of the road.
Dana's like, I feel about Jigsaw how you feel about Spiral. No, read me the filth, girly. Tell me.
No, it's not that I don't like it. Like, I like the storyline, all that and stuff.
Yes.
But it did confuse me at times because it went back and then went forward to the actual game. And that's what confused me. But
Yeah.
it's not bad. But I just like Spiral. I just like how it is,
I got
and
you know,
that. But
I'm excited for that
yeah,
episode
like, I'm-
because I love having discussions with people that adore things that I don't, because it makes me appreciate them more, and it might make me actually like it in certain ways. So
yeah,
We'll
just
see.
like Jigsaw, like it might convince me. So, you know,
exactly. See, yeah, you never know.
even though the Steelbook is nice, but I'm not getting it.
No, I got you. I literally got it on Macari for like $15. So yeah, you just got to keep your eye out for the desperation deals.
All right. Well, let's get started with Saw 2 then, huh?
Oh, okay. So who saw this in the movie theater?
I think I was only 6, Lil.
I saw this in the movie theater, but I'm probably the oldest one here, so that tracks.
Yeah. What year did that come out? What year did it come out? I know
That's
the
a
first one
good
came out in
question.
2004.
Saw 2 came out in 05. The first one came out in 04. Oh, wow. That was a quick turnaround.
Yeah, see how
Like,
old was I? God.
I'm looking at the years now, and every single Saw movie came out the year coming next up until Saw 3D was the last until Jigsaw, and there was a 7-year jump. And before that, Saw 1 through 3D, which would be we're all every year consecutive next to each other, which
Yeah, I was only 6 when this film came out.
I was 7.
Like,
well, Lilith was not 6 or 7. Lilith was
on
able
his
to go
count,
see
I was
this
like,
by herself.
oh,
Oh,
I think I was anyway. God.
No, I will say when I saw this in the theater, I saw it by myself, and it was a very terrifying experience that I.
No,
ate
I would have loved to have seen all of them.
Mhm.
So when I got to see like Jigsaw, Spiral, Saw X, I was like, yeah, I'm there. So it would have been nice. So
See, I only seen
No, that was
3D
Oh,
and
you've only
X.
seen 3D?
And X.
I'm so jelly that you saw 3D in the theater because that's one I didn't get to see because I wasn't financially able at the time, and it was in 3D, and I never got to see it in 3D.
I watched it on my phone. I rented
Did
it on my
you?
phone. Literally watched it.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do,
Yeah.
girl.
So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
what's the synopsis of this film? Like, what is this movie about? I didn't see it. Recap it for me.
Oh, God.
Boy, he's just testing you on your knowledge, girl.
I'm literally, it's not like I've just watched it an hour ago, you know. Just,
I know. No,
Right.
it's me too.
well, obviously, you know, it's about Eric Matthews. And, you know, obviously, you know, all these people he's arrested, you know, in this house. And obviously his son, you know, he don't get along with his son. Well, not he don't get along with his son. He just hasn't got that bond.
Yeah.
And obviously, then he goes see John, has a story. He wants his time. You know, time's a big thing in this film, and he just don't understand, you know.
No, it's not clicking.
Time is a thing in this. But, yeah. I'm not the best at describing
No, that was great. That was great.
That's
that was
awesome.
That was the gist. That was great. Hey, I mean, I think it's really cool how we open with a trap because we get that it is Saul, you know.
Yeah.
The transitions in this one, like the jump cuts, you know how fast paced it is. That's not easy to do, and I think that's another reason why this franchise shines because they do it so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that part a lot. And I know Dana loves the color like I do, that fluorescent green and blue.
Yeah.
She was
Right,
texting me earlier when we were watching it.
You know, you get to-
No, it looks amazing. For me, this movie is about daddy issues. Every single person, like, when they're like, what do we all have? And I'm over here laying in bed going, daddy issues. You all have daddy issues. And the thing is under every, like, surface, under every story, you notice, like, so the detective and his son, you see how the last thing the detective says was then just go away. Then he goes missing. And then, like, he's trying to get his son back. Well, at the same time, Amanda is trying to, instead of, like, being mad at her dad, she wants to please her dad and make sure all the Saw traps go right. It's like seeing two sides of the same coin. Like, one is trying to have that bond, that experience, the connectivity of it, while the other ones are, like, broken, abandoned. And it's fun watching this like unfold and go throughout. And
I agree. Hmm.
so I was
Yeah.
go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say the group of people that we're dealing with in this one are fun. I think it gives us a nice bunch of characters. We love some, we hate some, and then if you're going into this the first time, you're like, oh, it's Amanda. And I wonder, did either of you call that she was the first time watching this? Did you remember if you thought that she was involved or not?
I'd probably say yes, but I literally can't remember. Like the first time I
Right.
watched it, I would say yeah, probably yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
You remember, Billy?
I was like young when I watched this, so
Yeah.
I can't tell you if I remember or not.
I know. I'm kind of on the same level as you guys. That's why I asked.
I think there are some things in there that like it's really hard that they try to throw you off the track. Really, like there's a scene where she's cutting her wrist in front of John, and you see later on it is in front of John. I'm like, why the hell is it even a scene? They're just doing this to like make the audience like feel that she's in the trap with everybody else because of that flashback, not knowing it's going to be a plot point later on.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
So with the red herrings and like actually showing us shit that like could be the reason why she's in the trap for sure, then that's why there's no scent and why people probably didn't guess it
Yes. I mean, I get that.
at the end. But I still love it though.
I think I do find that to this storyline the wrist cutting may be irrelevant, but for 3 it kind of helps kind of like solidify the reasoning behind why John makes his decision. You know, I think I don't know. What do you think, Dana? Because with I'm not trying to talk about 3 too much because that's the next one, but with the decision making that happens with the one coming up, I think with the wrist cutting, with both, I think it kind of like helps that storyline a little bit. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. Like, they put it in.
Yeah.
So obviously, it obviously meant something to them to put it in.
Yes.
I want to shout out a YouTuber, but I don't remember his name. Basically, he does a deep dive of Saw 2, and all those traps were set up for individual people. Like the guy who got shot at the very beginning, his Saw plot was to get all the numbers. He was a puzzle solver, and he loves solving puzzles. And he was the one that was supposed to break the code in that. The girl that got her wrist stuck in that, she was one of the rooms that didn't get open, and there's a couple of rooms that we do not see that is Saw traps. And in the background of this movie, as John's talking, you see what those rooms would be if they actually would have went inside.
Yeah, because there's people at play that didn't get to their traps.
Yep.
And that would have been cool to see because I forget her name, but she was from Seventh Heaven. And I remember watching behind the scenes on the DVD. She was so excited for this role because it was something different for her because she was that girl from Seventh Heaven. And she studied like seizures and stuff for her seizure moment and everything. She was really excited to do this. So that was really cool. I have to say, not trying to jump all over the place or ahead, but Billy did mention this girl. I think the girl that puts her wrists in the trap is the stupidest person in this franchise.
Yeah.
Like, why? It's like obviously a trap. Do not stick your hands in there.
Well, not to mention only one. Just stick one in there, and you can use your fingers to like help the wrist get back out. But you already.
I think, at the time though, you're not thinking about that, are you? You're just like, let's key now.
But this is what happened. She got her wrist in there, went to do with one hand. She pulls the vial out, and it spills everywhere. What makes you think you could save it with putting another one? I'm like, no.
No. Yeah, she honestly, girl, even when I saw it, I was like, I know it's different if I was in that situation, but still, I was like, we know this trap. It's kind of like the finger trap. It's like, once you go in, you can't go out without,
Some of the traps in this one I felt are kind of unwinnable, though.
Well, which one?
Obi's trap?
Yeah.
Okay, Obi's trap. See, the trick to win an Obi's trap, which people don't realize, is that if he would have turned that knob with the devil, because if you listen to the hint, the only one that can save you in hell is the devil. If he would have turned the knob, the fire would have went off, and he just would have been burned. The issue is he screamed, he freaked out, he breathed in the heat, and that's what killed him. The burns wouldn't have killed him. He screwed himself over by not listening, like somebody else in this story.
But the thing is like, what is John doing? The very beginning scene, which probably a great opening scene, one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion, with the Iron Maiden. He basically paints you a picture saying, hey, the key's behind your eye. You have to get behind your eye. This one is metaphors. Man, I hope I get a day where John's not on fucking metaphors and he just tells me what the fuck to do. Then I probably have a chance to live.
So is he gonna bluntly come out and say, hey, do this thingamabob? No.
That's basically what he did for the first one. He's like, here's an x-ray of your face. Behind your face is a key. It's like, thank you, John. That would help me a lot. Not there's a devil in hell that will help you. And then, like, you get in there, you're already burning. You're like, the fuck, there's on the opposite side. Like, that's bullshit. Unwinnable.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, I do like that scene, though. I do, because it's very prolonged for what it is. In a lot of the movies, we get these burning scenes. We don't get it as prolonged. Because the screams really get it for me with that scene. You know, his agony. I don't know. What do you think about that one, Dana?
I'll say it's not my favourite trap in it, just because, like, it's in a confined space. There's fire. Yes. And I didn't like his character anyways, because, you know, he helped them bring them in, and then he thought he was going to win by getting his own antidote, which, you know, he weren't going to get it. But, you know, John was playing that game, you know. He helped me, I'm not going to help you.
I could have felt sorry for him, like, Jigsaw made him go and get the people. Yeah. But then they show the flashback of him kissing the girl as she's passing out. Like, okay, yeah. I don't care for you.
He was nasty. He was no good.
On top of that, so... do you think Saw X, let's talk about this real quick, that was before this movie?
Yeah, right before.
Why? Like, I know it's 10 years in, like, they weren't planning this, but I'm like, man, Amanda and Jigsaw, like, have to be wanting to get back in a trap, because there's no way after I got the torture in Saw X that I would put myself physically back into a trap. So Amanda, I don't know what she's on. That's crazy, because you're putting yourself with a bunch of felons. Like, you don't think that, like, nothing's going to go wrong?
Well, I think it's her showing her commitment to the process. You know, like in the end segment, she says this was her game. This was her test, essentially. Because, yeah, there was a crap ton that could go wrong, but it was his way of testing her to see if she could get through it the way she needed to, I suppose, to see if she could go beyond her weaknesses. You know, because if it comes down to it, if we think about it, Amanda's been tested a bunch of times. He's given her a lot of chances at this point.
Way too many. Like, damn, how many times do you have to pass this fucking exam?
Well, it's true. I think a lot of the fan base will agree with that Amanda did get a lot of well, especially with 10, you know, it gave us a little bit more reasoning behind what happens in 3. But you get the sense Amanda does care for John. You know, she cares about this man, and she loves him like a father, and that's why I think he clings to her so much, because he gets that. He understands that. But, you know, unfortunately, she is her own enemy. You know, she has a very obsessive personality, and it became whatever it may be. I mean, heroin, whatever it may be. It tracks with her.
Also felt like John took a huge chance putting himself out there in the spotlight. Nobody really knew exactly what he looked like, but this was the first time he revealed his face to, like, the police.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't. What do you guys think? Do you think this was probably like the plan of the end of the franchise for a second?
I think the trilogy was the plan for the end of, like, the franchise, and then they just kept going and kept going. Producers did say they regret killing John way too early. So I think they did see an end, but they
what
saw
do you
the
think,
money.
Dana?
I think they did it right. I think they did it right to end him in Saw 3. So I feel like
Okay.
then you got like all the like apprentices, and that it just brings up like still have John in the backstories, but I don't think he needed to go on and on and on. And like he's
Yeah.
not the final guy. He didn't need to go all the way to the end. So no, I think it's like fine the way they left it. Like
Okay.
See, I think
Okay.
what hurts me is so I'm fine with Amanda and I forget his name right now.
Oh,
It's not
Dana knows
Mullins.
who it is. Oh, Dana knows that
What's his name?
Oh, yes, he does.
a Detective Mark Hoffman.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Hoffman.
Dana's favorite.
Those two are fine, but then in Jigsaw you got the veteran, and then Saw 7. It turns out Doctor from Saw 1.
Gordon.
Yep, was.
See, we got the expert here. You just gotta ask the expert, sir.
So how
Yeah,
many fucking apprentices does this guy need? And this guy you're gonna carry on the game, but then shit happens.
Maybe he just wanted to like test them all out, see how good they really were, and he obviously saw potential in obviously all of them. Obviously some turned, like Hoffman turned obviously eventually, but I think he was just like testing everyone out. So
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where he realized that Amanda wasn't gonna turn out, so he got Hoffman on his side, and that was his backup plan. Because at the end of the day, his goal was to have this keep going when he was gone.
But
So he did not want this to stop.
if we remember, I think it was Saw 5 or 4. Hoffman was the one whispering in Amanda's ear, like making her do corrupt and dumb shit. So it's like
Because he wanted to be the number one.
exactly. So if he didn't made Hoffman an apprentice, then Amanda could have been on the straight and narrow.
yeah, I think he did it because obviously I think Amanda's generally is weak, and I think I don't think she could have carried on her own. I think she always needed John. I think obviously, as I said, once John went, it was okay for her to go. Like, you know what I mean? She didn't choose to go.
I agree, though. I agree. And she knew that. And Ken even explores that, She knew she could not do this without John, and that's why she was panicking. She wasn't ready. And she knew she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Because I do adore our actress, Shawnee Smith, and I adored her in this franchise, And I do like how they're trickling her back with the new ones, But it's going to be interesting to see if they continue after X. And I'm sorry, I keep saying 10 because it's X, I suppose. But yeah, I think there's some. This one really is the epitome of the aesthetic of this franchise. It goes so hard with the jump cuts and transitions. The colors are everything that screams Saw to me that no other franchise can really touch as well as this one did, I don't think. When I see green in a horror movie, I'm like, oh, they got that from Saw. It's not, oh, they got that from something else. When they use that fluorescent light filter, it always reminds me of this franchise, because I feel like they really started that trend.
Is there any down points to this movie you guys want to talk about? Is there anything with this rewatching that kind of took you out of the movie?
Not that I can think of on the top of my head.
No, this one has always been one of my favorites and still holds one of my favorites because it kind of hit deep mark for me. Because I didn't expect like the kid to be in the safe,
Yeah. Yeah.
For
Go ahead.
For me,
I probably wanted a bit more of the relationship between Eric and Daniel. Like, you knew they were on bad terms, but like, why were they actually on bad terms? Was it because more to do with the divorce, or like, was there something else?
Yeah.
Like, one thing that confused me in Saw 2. I know Amanda's probably doing it to help Daniel, often because like when they found out he was Eric's son, she went, "That's not your dad," and I was like, that confused me. Now I was like, is he actually his dad, or like was she just protecting off me from the other people? But I wanted to like more of their relationship. Like in it, not just like, oh, go away, go back to your mum and stuff. That's what I would have wanted. Yeah.
So I enjoyed the first 10 minutes of this movie. I think this is one of the only Saws that I see a backstory for the characters that get into the Saw trap. But the one thing that did bother me is when John was talking to Jigsaw, and they're like at the two separate ends of the table, and then you just see a speed transition to one person, speed transition to the other, and like I was like, do we really need that when they're in the same room? Like, I get it if they're like two different corners, they're at like a table talking. there's that and all the flashbacks. Like, I get that they were trying to do what the first movie did, but I felt for, like, with the father and son, the detective, and I know you just said the name. I hate names. I'm sorry.
What, Daniel?
Yeah.
The son, Daniel.
Daniel and the detective. When they do flashback of them.
Dana, whip him, just whip.
This is why I also read notes as well, because, keep that head going.
That's true.
I've literally done all the films.
Billy, you're the host.
I used to have IMDb up, but the people like, why are you always on your phone? Is because I'm trying to memorize the name because I know I'll forget it in 3 seconds.
Like, I've done the cast, I've done all the traps, and I've done fun facts as well. It's like, that's what I've done. But that's what you should be doing,
The flashback for the detective and Daniel is just Daniel in a hat and they're happy while Donnie Wahlberg is just like posing as if he's on the cover of Maxim or something stupid like that. It's like, I get that, like, this is the series. Add a hat to anybody to make them look younger. Like, oh, we don't have pictures of him as a child. Let's just put him in a hat. I'm like, okay, I don't buy this, like, flashback. And then at the very end, I know they're describing all the plot points at the end so they get everybody on the same page. But, like, they're doing, like, scenes that I saw, like, 5 minutes ago in this little recap. I'm like, I don't really need this here. I know I'm dumb, but I'm not that dumb, guys.
I mean... I think it helps with people that didn't necessarily see the first one, I guess, and just knew it was infamous for something. Because there's always those couple people that haven't seen the first one that'll see this one because this was infamous, I don't think it went too heavy with the backstory, like with Friday the 13th.
See, that's the thing. It needs the Friday the 13th intros for each movie. Just recap the last 30 minutes of each movie.
No, you don't understand. Like, we're going through Friday right now too with Jonathan, and the intro for I think it was the third movie is 3.5 minutes of the first movie, and I'm like, why?
I enjoy it.
No, but anyways, yeah, I get it, I do like the transition in this. Like, there's a transition shot when the detective goes from his bedroom to the office or the crime scene, and it does it with people, and it's like really cool because it works, but it shouldn't work. You know what I mean? I really like that part. What are some highlights to this one for you, Dana?
Oh, that's big. It's See, it's
You're all good. You're no rush. Hey, you can take 5 minutes. We'll just cut it.
no, because like I said, I've started to grow on this film. It's taken time to grow, but I'm really struggling to think of like highs for me personally. Like, because I said like I'm still learning to grow, like learning to love this film. But I say just like the traps. Like the high point was the traps. Like some of them were really good. Needle scene. That physically,
oh yes,
no, like I'm not having that. And then, like I said, like the Venus flytrap, at the beginning, eyes. I don't do eyes, so I think some of the traps in this were like really like physically and mentally like nah, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So I would say that's my high. The traps in this, like
okay, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
What's your highs on this one, Billy?
Well, this is my favorite of the Saw series. I felt like the story was great, the acting with Donnie Wahlberg, and we get more Jigsaw in this compared to most of the other films. Like, he's talking a lot throughout this movie. You actually hear his suicide, his cancer diagnosis, what got him to start this path of like wrath and rampage. I enjoy the backstory in this. It really develops him as a character. Like I said, this was way before Saw X even came out. So you're trying to get invested in like this person. The twist with Shawnee Smith's character at the end, Amanda, that was great. I enjoy the people that are in the trap. Like, I feel like the dialogue is well written for them. And I don't know, as Donnie Wahlberg would say, this movie has the right stuff.
I think so too. Dana, you mentioned this. You're still learning to love this one. Where's this one on your list again?
It's four. No, one, two. Yeah, it's four.
Okay,
It's like it's
that's
not
not
bad.
bad.
But I said it's
Yeah.
grown, like literally
Yes.
grown. I
Yeah,
think
it wasn't initially your
favorite.
favorite though.
Huh?
It wasn't initially your favorite
No.
one. I
No,
got you.
obviously, like people, be like, oh, I love Saw 2. I'm like, it's like
No,
not
like,
bad.
hey,
But
you
it's
have a
like-
right to your opinion.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely grown. Like the more I've watched it, but it's just Saw X. Saw X has just really helped.
Yes.
You know, just get no Amanda and John Moore. That's just what's helped. So if we didn't have Saw X, it still would have been low.
Yes.
So you know,
I think it really elevates this. You know, it
Yeah.
does. It adds. Saw X really adds so much to this original trilogy, and it's everything really craved. I think. And yeah, I've always loved Amanda, so it was real. This is probably why it's one of my favorites. I love seeing a lot of her. I love seeing a lot of Jigsaw, or you know, or just Tobin Bell as an actor. He just does it so good. And this breeded my favorite line from the franchise. Yes, there will be blood. Oh, I still quote it to this day. I love that line. Best line in advertising ever, because I still remember it.
What did you think about when the guy trapped them in the original Saw trap, and then they're like, "How are you going to get the piece off the back of your neck?" And he just starts going to town.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, you hurt yourself because you deserve every ounce of pain, you freaking bastard." Yeah. Oh my god. I could not stand that man. He threw Shawnee in the pit.
Yeah, I think that's what annoyed me when I watched it. Like when he put her in the needle, I'm like, "That's your trap. You would have got the the key if it was putting Amanda in it. It weren't her trap." Like, so it's his own fault. He deserved everything. And you know, Daniel. Yeah,
he definitely wasn't the brightest guy. Like, if I was going to injure myself, I'd make sure I'd injure everybody in the room before I'd go after me.
So stupid. He was just a big brute idiot, you know, and like especially like that scene with him and I don't know the actor's name, but it was the other older gentleman, the black guy.
I think it's Rick. I think it's Rick. It's either Gus or Rick.
Okay. That gentleman, when they're having that conversation, he's trying to be like, I have enemies outside, dude. I don't need enemies in here. And he's explaining, like, people are going to come after his family if something happens to him. And then right after that, he bashes them over the head. It's like, that shows you how despicable this individual is. And there's no saving him. And the only thing that you know what? I do have something that I don't like about this movie. That he didn't have a long and torturous death because he deserved it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the only people in this franchise that actually dies by a saw. So, that's redeemable.
I mean... that's true. I didn't even think about that.
I honestly was surprised Daniel had it in him to do that. Like, I wouldn't say Daniel was wussy, but like even John was like, yeah, he's probably over there cowering in a corner if I had to guess. So
yeah. I like the scene with Shawnee and Daniel on the steps where when you're watching back, you can tell she's like, you trying to hide it, aren't you? Yeah. Like, can you imagine being him and being in a group of criminals your dad put away? Like, how anxiety-inducing that would be. All those mofos were, like, especially that one guy we were just talking about is gonna want to slit your throat. Well, that's crazy.
I would appeal to their heartstrings. Like, yeah, you guys think you have it bad. Yeah, he tied me up to the bed and just went to town after Mom left. And then they're like, oh my God. I'm like, yep, real pedophile. And then they're like, all right, well, you're one of us now. We all been wronged by your dad. And then, like, at the end of the way...
Oh my God. No, but yeah, I like the structure of this one too, because I like isolated horror. I like how it's kind of like done in like singular areas and it's not like jumping everywhere. That's always fun to me when it feels isolated, you know. As I said, when I think of Saw, I really think this is kind of like the epitome of look-wise, you know, of what I expect from a Saw movie. It doesn't get much better look-wise. The traps, when we get them, are fun, even though they're not huge amounts of traps in this. They're so unique and good that it feels like we have enough, you know, like the needle pit, like we touched upon. I think we need to talk a little bit more about that because, like, that is an iconic scene in horror right there. And if you didn't know, which I'm sure you both do, Shawnee Smith was pregnant during the filming of this movie.
Yeah, I was
She
looking at the
didn't tell
trivia
them.
of the film.
Yeah. She
And her
didn't let
daughter,
them know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They also mixed in real needles with that.
Yeah.
And did you? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
there
was.
was 4 people like individually removing every single thingy.
Yeah.
And there were 120,000 syringes used in that pit as well. So.
And you see her going back and forth with her arms.
Yeah.
It makes you think if one of them sticking out was really sticking in her, you know?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the theater, and oh my gosh, my stomach, the butterflies. I was like, because I really liked her, and I was like, oh no, but yeah, that was a really well done scene. The way I love the way they cut their kills in this movie. You know, like with the tension and the speediness of it, you know?
Well, the special effects, especially when that guy tried to open the door and the gun was behind it, like, I was like, dang, that looks pretty good even to today's standards.
Yeah. Yeah, they did really well.
Jigsaw Morals Code, let's talk about this. We talked about it in the first movie, how...
I knew Billy was going to bring this up.
Danny Glover's partner in the first one, he trips a wire and then he gets shot by like 3 shotguns above his head. Like he didn't even have a real saw trap. Jigsaw got him that way. So, was there anything like this in this movie?
The only thing that I find semi-questionable, though, he didn't get really hurt. He was just being a big baby. Was the cop that got his legs in the floorboards?
Yeah.
But I don't think they broke. I think he just got hurt. So I think it's forgivable.
What about Seventh Heaven girl? Like, her immune system was probably weakened or something happened. She died way before timer ran out.
The issue is, what did she do? And if she did it or not? Because I don't know. Because I'm under the presumption that everybody there was falsely imprisoned by his father. So that one's a little iffy, you know, but at the end of the day, it goes into the thing. If you have enough will to live, you'll fight hard enough to get to where you need to be. And I think that's Jigsaw's standpoint with it. I mean, he went over a bridge in a car and survived with cancer. He went through X and survived. If he can do all that with cancer, he expects these people to at least be able to tear open a house to get their antidote, you know. Well, I think that's his mindset, at least. I'm not saying that's necessarily, you know.
But do you think Gus or Rick, whatever his name is, had a perfectly fair death?
No, not really. Like, this literally was just...
Yeah, he was just standing there and got a nailed bat to his head.
Yeah, like a vegan bat in his head, so it's like gone. But nah, they deserve to have their trap. Might be horrible, but they deserve to. But yeah, it's just like, you're gonna die now.
I mean, I don't think he is a serial killer like people claim him to be, but I do feel like sometimes there is situations that are a little morally questionable. You know, he's not free of sin, but his goal is to free sin of the world, you know, kind of thing.
I definitely think he's a serial killer. He may not have a real body in this movie, but the last movie, he killed Danny Glover's Asian partner. Like, the guy was chasing him, didn't see the tripwire, and then boom, got like 5 shotguns to the face.
I got you. I think one is the most questionable with that stuff, but I think with this one and going forward in the franchise, they really pushed his moral code to not be a bad person, because it's really what kind of makes this unique. You know, it comes from a place of wanting to make the world better, not wanting to make it a worse place. And most killers are just trying to, like, terrorize. And he's trying to improve the world and put better people out there. So I think that makes it kind of unique in a way, because we don't get that very often.
I can't wait to get to part 7, because the opening of part 7 totally deconstructs that.
Okay.
Do you remember how part 7 opens?
I don't remember how part 7 opens. It's been a minute.
It was a high school triangle relationship that he got into.
Are you talking about the in the shop window?
Yes.
That's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
She cheated on
everything she got.
just for cheating? Like, I feel like those are like
She wasn't
small.
cheating. She was playing. She was a player, and she deserved to get what she got.
So that's basically annihilating half of like the U.S. population.
Have you seen the world, Billy?
You're crazy.
I never said I wasn't, to be fair.
All right. Was there anything you guys want to add to this? I mean, this was kind of a quick episode. Like, if we're ending it soon.
If you have some fun facts or anything you wrote down that you weren't able to bring up, Dana, I would love to hear them.
Fun fact: Mia Goth wasn't in it.
No shit.
After you mentioned one about syringes, but one that's related to my shirt, The Shining, because this is related into Saw 2, and I'm so excited. So the house number on the door where they're all trapped in is 237, which, as we know, is the door in the hotel. And I was like, that's when you don't think about things like that. And you're like, yeah. So I was like, we're excited. So it's just like nice bringing in things like that together. So
That's so cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. That is so cool that this is connected with The Shining.
Yeah, I didn't, and I was like, I was well happy.
That's amazing.
This might be more of a fact for a different movie, but the director of this movie kept telling Lionsgate, "Yeah, Saw 2 needs more money, needs bigger money, needs more money."
I know where you're going
And then
with this.
they're like, "Okay, here you go." He was just taking that money to funnel into Repo, the genetic opera.
Was. Yes, he was. Yeah, if you didn't know that, Dana, the director's real passion at the time was Repo, the Genetic Opera, and he kept getting stuff built for Saw 2, but it wasn't for Saw 2. It was for Repo, the Genetic Opera. Yeah, so there was sets built that wasn't even used for this film. He built them for Repo because he knew Lionsgate wasn't going to give him the money for his next project, so he recycled the money through this film.
That's not a bad idea. And like, did it bite him in the ass? No, he went on to do Saw 3 and Saw 5. No, Saw 4.
He went to do on a couple of them.
Yeah, so good for him. I wish I could squander money.
I mean, don't we all, though?
Well, I have nothing else I have to say. Any closing remarks?
Other than the fact that I am overly delighted that we have Dana here. I mean, it's an honor. Look.
All right. Well, let's hop into the game. Lil, explain the game like you like to do.
Okay. I am going to be doing the game tonight. We pick 1 through 5 movies. I am going to give Billy and Dana 1 through 5. They are not allowed to move the slots once they pick them. And this is their list for the 5 movies that I am going to give them randomly. I am going to pick from behind me. Okay. If it will ever come out. Okay, we got 1. Oh, this is 2. Okay, so your first 2. Okay. The original The Thing.
1.
3.
Ooh.
Okay. The remake, or I'm sorry, it's not a remake, the prequel of The Thing.
4.
4.
Oh, look at you guys. Okay. I got you. Ah, Valentine.
I've not seen that.
Not seen that? Okay, we'll go to a next one. Don't be sorry. I would suggest it though, because it's a fun slasher. Cloverfield?
Yes, I've seen. That's going at 5 for me.
Okay. I respect that. Not a lot. There's a couple people that really don't like that one.
I like it, but I don't know if it's too worthy, so I'm going to go 3.
Okay. Anaconda.
Ooh. Okay. Might regret that, but okay. The number 1
Okay. Billy?
Oh, no. I could justify all the movies so far being above it, so I think I'm going to put it at 5.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Hey, you're looking. It's not random now if you're looking.
Okay, I'm not looking. Oh.
Shrek the Musical.
Harry Potter.
Which one? Any of them?
I'm just doing the series as a fool because that's what I grabbed.
Hey, Harry Potter's a pretty good number one.
Dana's not happy.
I do like Harry Potter, but in the UK they play it a lot on a certain channel, and as the years gone by, I've just not learned to love it as much now because it plays so much.
Well, I would have picked something else, but Billy wouldn't let me look. Natty boo boo.
Yeah, you were gonna try to screw me over, but no, I actually quite like my list. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Dana.
That was
So
fun.
that was the game. I mean, that was fun. Next time you're on, Dana, if you want to play, just pick 5 movies, and that's basically how we do it. We just
Yeah,
you
my
gotta give them
DVDs are over
list.
here. Like, so yeah.
Oh yeah. I just do it because they're right here. You can even just write a list. Like that's what I used to do.
I usually do themes. So last one, like I said, was Mia Goth's X, Infinity Pool, Pearl. Like I've done sequels, remakes. I've done a lot. It's almost to the point where I'm going to recycle.
I'll do trilogies because not a lot of people like the third installments in films, and I love a lot of trilogies. So we're going to do third installments.
All right,
I
So I've
like
got a few.
that.
You'll make
I have
the
a feeling
list.
we're gonna be number
Yeah, I've got a
one.
few. So that's it.
all
I'm
right.
so excited.
Well, this was a
thank
great
you.
episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I can't wait to see Saul again.
I'm excited.
He had to get it in again. He had to get it in again.
I'm excited for the next one because it's Saw 3.
All right.
Saw 3 is a really good one. It's one of my
Bring it
favorites.
on.
No.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about everything Saw 3. Bring on Hoffman into it, and
Billy, you don't know. Hoffman is her man's. Like, she's like, take me now. No, I'm just playing.
See, Hoffman was cool until he did what he did, and we'll get into that when we see what he did.
I forgive him. I forgive him.
Dana's gonna fight for her man, Billy. She's gonna fight for her man.
But no, yeah.
We'll talk about it when we get there. Until next time.